That's my baby. I'm dying.
That's my baby.
We're going at it at 110%.
I just want 5 minutes of happiness, please. Just give me 5 minutes.
And they scored. They did it.
Left, feet left.
What the hell was that?
Oh, yeah! What the fuck are you talking about?
Hi. Welcome to Spit and Fire with Racheal Blaze, Andrew Haney, and Tarzan.
Oh, shit.
You're supposed to turn off your phone, kids. Okay, bad boys. Anyway, I'm just kidding. Andrew has his turned off. I have mine turned off. How is everybody? It's the weekend.
Good. That's right.
Weather's getting nice.
It's finally nice outside. God damn it! Been taking too damn long. Tired of all this cold weather.
It is kind of crazy. Guess what? I got a word from my sponsor. And how do you get it on the screen? How do you get it on here?
Well, then can I go for? I'm gonna do the first.
Oh, do you want to do it? Okay, Destin's got one too. So hold on, guys.
So our sponsor is Pioneer Project Management, and it's a roofing and siding company located in Somonauk, Illinois, 60552, and the phone number is 815-498-6524. And give them a call if you have any leaky roofs or if you had a horrible storm come through or
tornado,
missing siding,
hurricane,
or something like that. Yeah.
AccuWeather.
Yeah.
Oh.
Hailstorms. No. They do roofing, siding,
they do it all,
and more.
guys, and they do a great job. They're
exterior.
a local company here. And another word from the show. Let's see. Sponsor. Hello. Did you pull it up?
Oh wait, I could have read it too.
Wait, here, you guys read it because I can't read it right now. I have a left eye that's funky right now.
Oh.
I'm not kidding you guys. I'm having a hard time with my eyes right now.
Oh, that is weird. Okay. All right.
Come on.
Fucking it up. All right. What?
It's hard because
yeah, the words keep coming up.
Oh.
That is weird.
Okay, so, well, we're going to do it kind of ghetto.
It's going to be.
This is how we're going to do it real quick.
I'm like, I keep getting words out of my I'm like, fuck.
Many of us in our families deal with mental health and addiction issues. We are happy to support the Counseling Center and Sunrise Detox. If you need help, please call 856-651-8117. Again, that number is 856-651-8117. Thank you so much for sponsoring A2D Radio. Okay, you guys.
There's a good little lag to that.
I know, and then I just wanted to get I wanted to get fancy. And look, okay.
Yeah, I would have had to get up there too.
Look, we Irish people, we party all freaking long in March. So I just started my, whole, get up here. Got the whole Irish queen get up. Yep, bling bling. Yeah, so I'm ready.
We got to flop because my birthday is on the 13th, so I should be wearing like
you really should. That's right.
The next show, I'll dig out some what do you call it? Some St. Patty's Day apparel out of the mothballs.
Destin is an Irish Tarzan.
I had a hat at
That's
one point,
sexy, guys. Just kidding, girls, ladies. Sorry.
I'm like, wait, I'm saying, wait. It took me a second. I'm like, wait, what did she just say?
No, my son is a man, a real strong man. Man, we need masculinity.
All right, so anyway.
Okay.
She's losing her mind.
Oh,
well, yeah.
What's funky about that left eye? That's funniest statement, Steve. Well, I don't know. I think I'm having some allergy issues, so it's watering profusely like a waterfall, so I really can't see. I see double vision out of my left eye. She just got done watching
the Titanic. She's holding back tears. That's what it is.
Yeah,
the Notebook.
I've been crying all day. Well, it was Lake Day, so it was Lake Day. I like to hug the microphone. I don't know why. I feel like, hey.
Can you hear me now?
We got some great guests coming on tonight. Dave
Heredia.
Harela.
She's trying to get that role.
Yeah.
Wait, how do you say? Is it Herrera?
Not
Okay.
good.
Heredia.
Yeah, not good
Heredia.
for me.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
You gotta roll the R's though. That's
Right,
That's a tough thing.
Puerto Rican, so you got
Herrera?
that little role.
Yeah.
You know.
Dave, I love you, man. I got you have to work with me on that, your last name, bro. Anyway,
Yeah. give her like 5-10 tries.
and then we have Angela.
Magana.
I'm so excited about her. She's what
You know
it's
fight
Women's
too.
Day.
You know her.
Yeah, it's Women's Day, so we have a woman on the show
Is it
besides
Women's
me.
Day? Is that a day? That's a national day? Is there a man's
I
day?
don't know. Steve
Oh,
just
we
told me
starting
about
up
it today, and I'm like,
Wait a
oh,
minute.
okay.
That's not right.
And then I made a post on Facebook and said it was International Women's Day. Look, I don't keep up with the I don't know, these
Every other
weird
month, it's
things they
Donut
make
Day,
up.
Yeah.
Dog
It's
Day.
National
What?
Toe Day. Show your
Yeah,
toes, you
No,
know.
that's OnlyFans.
National Tongue Day. I'm like, come on. How many
That's
more
what we do on
national?
National
I don't
Women's
know.
Day.
I'm a woman and I'm not offended
It
by
sounds
it, so
good.
I'm just saying.
Bring Angela on for that. You guys will have a nice
I.
little
What'd you say?
convo. Women's
Oh
Day.
man, I had some conversations a little bit with Dave before the show, and I had, oh my gosh, you guys are going to be so excited about the stories he's going to share, and also with Angela, I had some moments to speak with her prior to the show, and man, we hit it off. Oh, I love her. She's like so real, and she's so down to earth, and look, the girl is woke. And I love it. You got that? It.
She's excited. She's excited about
I
it.
know. I had to say that, keep you guys away. I feel like the camera is like really on my ceiling pretty hard up there. So sorry, we're
Can you see the beautiful ceiling?
yeah, it's beautiful. It's newly painted, isn't it? It's just amazing.
Yeah. See, and you saw, oh, it looks
Yeah.
ugly. It looks
I
amazing.
know.
No,
But what's going on, Rob? Thanks for watching. Brian, what's going on, buddy?
Brian, Rob.
Some good fights coming on tomorrow. Until our guest comes. But yeah, I got some 3 title fights.
Woohoo!
Yep.
Oh, and some Puerto Rican rice tomorrow.
oh Jesus.
I made the announcement. No, I'm just kidding. Y'all ain't invited. Y'all ain't
Damn,
invited.
damn,
I'll
right.
talk to our
Okay,
guest
guys.
about
So the
that.
poll question tonight is, can you still be successful even when you suffer from PTSD? And that's a very real question, considering, our sponsor. And I think it's a very good topic to talk about because
Yes.
PTSD is not necessarily from, someone who's been to war or has suffered, from being overseas and missing a limb. It's other, it's just
something
trauma
traumatic.
and period. That just didn't sound right, but
Yeah,
yes, it's
something
serious
traumatic
trauma.
and then period.
Right.
Well,
And period.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's traumatic.
Yeah, and so I'm looking to have some veterans on. I know we talk a lot about sports, but I do want to have some other topics on the show as well. But I do want to, emphasize on PTSD, and you have no idea who may be suffering from that. I know I didn't realize what it really was, and I still don't quite understand it myself. I believe that I suffer from it because of the traumatic experience I've had with my breast implants and being sick for so long. When you come to a near-death experience, and it's just, I don't know how to explain it, but it's very traumatic and it's very harsh to deal with. It's like a foul game that you just can't win. And it's just, I don't know how else to explain it. And so I think it's a good topic to talk about.
Yeah.
Everybody suffers of some type of something. And so, and emotional and mentally, disabilities are so common right now and so severe, especially since the last year. What do you think about?
Yeah, last year definitely mentally fucked everybody up. Like everybody has PTSD from last year. Like I got PTSD walking into the store. I'm like, who's gonna yell at me today for not wearing a mask?
Yeah.
Like my anxiety goes up like 2-3 times the normal amount when I walk into a store and because like, I don't want to wear a mask. I don't give a shit. I don't want to wear a mask. There's no point.
And let's go back and say Dustin does give a shit about others. So let's just explain.
Okay. So my reasoning is everybody else is wearing a mask. And for me, my logic is if you wear a mask, you wear it for yourself. You don't wear it for other people. That doesn't make any sense. Like if I literally, I've had it, I'm good. You know, I had the antibodies and everything. And, you know, I feel like with anything, you get sick, whatever, you know, like I used to like roll around in the dirt and stuff. And like, I've played around with like rusty, like nails and metal. And I've had, you know, I've been bitten by wild animals. Like there's so many other things I'm more worried about. Like I've been sick before. I used to have chronic migraines and all sorts of issues when I was younger. It was nothing for me. So I'm like, there's no purpose for me to do it. It's not. If you want to, you can do it, but I'm not going to do it.
He's fearless is basically what he's saying. And that's a good attitude to have. And that's what God teaches us. I know it's crazy.
I'm like, you know, there's some things you just can't run from. Eventually, the things that you're trying to hide from are going to find you and they're going to get you and you're going to have to deal with the problem. Like that's the one thing I don't like. Whatever is inevitable, like death is inevitable. We're all going to die eventually. I don't worry about it because, you know, would I like to die, you know, as an old man in my sleep peacefully? Yes. Do I think it's going to happen? Probably not. But, you know, you don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. I mean, you could die, you could not die, but that shouldn't influence how you act and live today, you know?
So what do you think, Dustin? So you think you're getting a little bit of PTSD from people harassing you at the stores?
That's driving me crazy. Like there's like my PTSD is not turning into like a depression thing, it's turning into like a very angry frustration thing. Like the more people that come up to me, the more I have trouble holding myself back, you know?
So yeah, not to cut you off, but you guys seen Cody Garbrandt, the fighter? He got kicked out the fight because his kid wasn't wearing a mask. His 2-year-old.
Wait, what?
Oh, wait a minute. I did not
Just
see
to add
that.
some fuel right here.
Wait.
Thank
Dave
you,
in the back whenever you're ready.
Thank you.
Oh, yes.
Oh,
Horrible.
So we have our first guest on, David Heredia. Oh my God, I think I said it. I don't know. Hi, Dave.
How's it going, guys?
What's up, my man?
So, did Puerto Rico show up? Boricua?
We have double Puerto Rican tonight. No, triple. We have triple. We've got Andrew, we got Dave, and we got Angela coming on.
Oh yeah, that's right. Okay.
Oh.
Right.
Yeah. So, how's your guys' day going?
Oh, it's fantastic. How about you guys?
Weather's getting better out here, so no complaints. You know?
I can't complain. I can
So-
drive the windows down again. You know.
So, which one's your boy?
Oh, my boy is Tarzan.
That one right
Guess
there.
which one that one looks like?
Tarzan? Okay, I see that.
Yeah.
Yeah, the guy with the beard. No.
Yeah. The guy that's going to turn 25
Yeah, I'm getting.
Yeah.
on the 13th, guys.
I got about one will be 28. So yeah, I feel you.
Yeah,
Oh boy. We see it every day. We're like, oh boy, another day older.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Wait till you get them grandbabies.
I've got to.
There was advertised, so yeah, they're awesome.
I got 2 coming this weekend.
Nice. I'm headed up. We were gonna go today to Albuquerque, but we had this going, so I'm leaving about 4 a.m. to go see the kids.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Dave, I know you're new to A2D Radio. Why don't you tell A2D Radio guys and girls who are tuning in tonight who you are, what you do?
Let's get to know you a little bit.
Yeah, well, I'm from Smallville. You know, most people don't know where Alamosa is unless you're into the weather, because Alamosa's put us on the map for the coldest in the nation periodically. So, but most people aren't interested in weather. But like we were touching on last time we were talking, I live 200 miles away from the average gym, you know, that was worth training. So I had to open up my own gym, but I had a lot of support. You know, the local guys just came together. I had a phenomenal team. We had Miguel Hurtado, who was a kickboxing champion from California. I had Jason Ramstetter with his Adams State University's wrestling coach. I had Ernie Medina, the brown belt in judo, and I'm the jiu-jitsu guy. So we had a great team. My biggest success as a coach in 2012, I took 22 kids to Naga. People that are familiar with jiu-jitsu, they know Naga is a big tournament, and we won it all. So that was pretty cool to win a national championship from a small little town.
And they didn't see you guys coming, did they? Nope.
You know, Naga didn't. You know how wrestling tournaments, they always put the top team, you know, the high ranked guys with low, just to kind of make it work where the best guys meet.
Yeah.
So we had to earn our spot because we were always put with the toughest, you know, when we go to tournaments. We started smashing, you know, bumping all the good guys out. So they switched it up, and we finally got to the rankings where we were at the opposite end of the bracket of everybody. So that was pretty cool. We gained a lot of respect, and the jiu-jitsu community is different. You know, you could grapple, almost tear each other's limbs off, and after it's just brotherhood. It's unreal. It's you have to experience it to actually be able to understand.
Is it wait, so I was curious, what's the age group for the tournament that you guys went to?
So 17 and 11 months to like kids.
Okay.
So luckily the brackets are so spread out that you can have kids from all ages. Okay. And yeah, we tore down the house. Man. Naga came in 2010 and we took second. I tied Amal Easton, which is a legend here in Colorado. I mean, he has so many affiliate. I've forgotten last count. And, you know, he'd bring 100 students easy, you know, so it's hard to compete, but we had to win every bracket, gi and no gi, to even compete with, you know, them big gyms.
Man, but that's like impressive. That's almost like a underdog story. Like
it is. And the funny thing is, I never grappled my whole life. Unfortunately, I grew up in the era where the singlets looked like female bathing suits to me. You know? And when you're 14, you know everything, you know. And I had my my freshman coach. He was an algebra teacher, and he was like, "Come on and wrestle, come on and wrestle." I never paid attention to it. Turns out I had a knack for it, you know. But Alamosa is known for phenomenal wrestling. I mean, we get national champions out of here, state national championships. A couple of kids have made it to the Big Ten. And so our wrestling pedigree is awesome here. And that's what helped my boys, is they were in that program, because it was a dad and a son. The dad does the middle school, high school, and the son does the university, but he brings college kids to push, you know, everybody's age group. And they have 11 state championships as of right now. Nobody knows Alamosa, but yeah, in 20 some years of coaching, 11 titles. That's legit.
This was all due to your efforts right here, right?
Well, no, this is Jason Ramstetter. He's the university coach, and he helped me when I opened my jiu-jitsu gym.
Okay. Right.
So he was my wrestling coach. So that added, you know, high quality coaching. And one thing I was telling you guys about the guy that was teaching me is sometimes you create a different environment, and if you don't make each student realize that you're there for them, and because I had my two boys, which were, you know, they knew a lot more than the average kid. And it's easy for you to focus on your stars or your star players, and I would pour my heart into and it's the saying for a reason. People don't care how much you know until they know how much you care, and that's how you take 22 kids that are from farm towns, you know, 2,000 population little towns, and win a national title.
That's pretty cool. I like that. That's like you're almost like it's weird. Like you're like helping the community. Like it's almost like
it's super rewarding. I didn't want to be a coach, if I'm honest.
Kind of fell into the role.
Well, yeah, I literally did. When my coach left back to Tennessee, I was done. I was devastated. I knew that the nearest gym was 200 miles away. I couldn't afford it. And so I was done. But a buddy of mine bought all the mats and bought all the equipment. He says, come on, man, help me for 3 months. If we bust, then we'll call it good. And I'm like, I owed him a lot of favors because he hooked me up with flights to Pan Am's, and we'd go to Vegas 3 times a year and compete. So I owed him a bunch. So I said, all right, I'm gonna give you 3 months. I started coaching and we blew up. You know, I didn't know I had a knack for coaching, and it's an art. You don't realize it till you're facing Greg Jackson on the other side of the cage, and you got to strategize to beat him, or you got Mark Sanchez from Altitude over there in Extreme X in Denver, and you got to strategize to beat that genius. And you know, because they're just masterminds. You know, Whitman, I've beat Whitman from coach to coach, and it's an honor to go, you know, play chess with those masterminds of MMA.
What got you?
Because everybody knows them, you know. Those are.
What got you to the fight world? Were you liked fighting back in the day? Trouble
You,
with childhood?
you know, I had a real weird growing up because I was a farm kid, real small town. You know, you got on the bus, you went, you know, you did your chores in the morning, just an old. And at 11, my dad ups and retires and moves us to Mexico. Okay. So now I'm 12 years old. I'm living in a big city. I got to walk 2 neighborhoods just to get to school. There's gang violence. There's drug, like, you know, I got shoved into that lifestyle, and I learned to fight. I learned to run. You know, you got to, it's funny. You got to know when to hold them, when to fold them, but you literally do. And I had some crazy movie style fights, you know, but when I finally learned martial arts, because I was a boxer, I never fought again in the streets. I mean, it's so easy to walk away, genuinely saying, you know what, I don't know you, you don't know me, but there's a probably, you know, 60-40 chance I win. And you can walk away with not even feeling it. But I didn't want my kids to go through what I did, because I had to go through like 7 or 8 different schools. You know, you got the jocks, you got the bullies, you got the gangsters, and it's just like, okay, I guess. And I'd go fight the biggest guy and get it over with. And it just teaches you to, you know, go forward. And I couldn't remember last time I went against Barrett Yoshida at nationals in Vegas. You know, he's a world champion, black belt. And he says I was the toughest guy he'd ever grappled. He beat me, you know, but I'll take second to a, you know, world-class black belt. Yeah. But yeah, coaching is awesome. I mean, I challenge people that think, well, I don't think I got what it takes. It's so rewarding. It's unbelievable.
Dave, so I heard you have 2 fantastic boys.
I do. I tell people I raised 3 kids. We're an empty nest, and people need to start bragging about the empty nest. That's where it's at. It's the best kept secret. But I raised 3 kids, and I'm not one sleepless night, you know. But I own my gym, so we were always together. Yeah, we're always traveling, we're always training, and so that helped immensely. But yeah, when my youngest son, who never wrestled Pee-wee, never wrestled middle school, finally in high school was like, maybe I want to wrestle. Are you sure? Because he tried one match when he was little. He got smashed. He's crying because his older brother, went out there, got gold the first tournament, won league championship the first year. I mean, he was just a little phenom. So my younger son tried it, you know, got beat up. I said, just because your brother wrestled, you don't have to wrestle, you know. And we had already bought the shoes and the singlets and everything, but, you know, if you don't, and he never wrestled till high school. Well, lo and behold, he makes it to state, but he's so low ranked because he doesn't have a wrestling record. He goes against the number 2 guy and beats the number 2 guy in the first match. So yeah, it's just crazy luck of, you know, and to strive. And both of my boys, that youngest got Grappler of the Year award. My oldest, undefeated 5 years in a row. Nobody can touch him. And we have phenomenal jiu-jitsu in Colorado. Probably because it started back in, I want to say, 2005. So we had a head start on most other states as far as jiu-jitsu.
How has the lockdowns affected you guys out there?
You know, we're out in the country, and so the restaurants are the ones that are hurting. You know, it's you could see how happy they are when you go and, you know, take out or whatever, and they're starting to open up, but call it a conspiracy theory, but I find it weird that everybody had to shut down except all the Chinese stores in America. Now hear me out.
I didn't pay attention to that.
Check this out. Every Dollar Tree, every Dollar General, every Family Dollar, every Walmart, 90+% of all their products are Chinese. None of them got locked down. Now, the Chinese are smart, okay? And they opened up their Chinese stores with American names. You know what? We like generals. You know, we're in the military. Call it a Dollar General. Those white people, you know, call it, oh, they're all into family, you know, and country. Well, we'll open up a Family Dollar. Yep. Oh, they're all into their nature and their national parks. We'll call it a Family Tree, you know, Family Dollar. All their names are American, but it's all Chinese products. And they were all allowed. And I live in a unique valley, and the smallest town has one or two of them.
Yeah, I was hearing about that dollar stores are slowly taking over. They're causing like food deserts now or something like that, or like deserts.
You can't compete with them. Yeah. I mean,
like mom and pop they have closing down because they can't compete with the Dollar General, and obviously they don't have the best of stuff there, but it's so cheap and it's so inexpensive that people are like, okay, we'll just go there. And most of the surrounding businesses, you know, like you were saying, they end up suffering because they're there.
Tell me that's not monopoly.
No, there's something behind that. There's something behind that because they made a big thing about this on the news a while back, and I was surprised because I didn't think about it before. I'm like, okay, well I guess that makes sense because wherever there's a Walmart, there's not really any other type of store around. There's not really like a butcher or, you know, anything like that. And same thing with like a Dollar General. And they always seem to pair up very closely together. You ever notice?
Yeah. And I mean, they're killing it. They're killing us because they have slave labor, and you can't compete with that.
Yeah, illegal slave labor, but that's a whole nother story.
Yeah.
Dave, you and I could talk about that for days. I think a lot of people could. And people better wake up to what's really going on.
Yeah.
A lot of people still sleeping. Stop snoozing.
Yeah. Everybody's waiting for that stimulus.
I know that's not coming anytime soon.
I don't feel like that's it. That's never
I think they pocketed that and hit it.
That little carrot is so tempting to people.
Yeah.
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 It's funny because they're like, what was it? They said, okay, we're gonna release 600 or something like that, and then the rest is gonna come eventually.
Hey, Thomas,
that's never coming. Stop holding your breath.
Yeah,
get a job.
Yeah, exactly. So
we got to figure it out now.
Now you're okay. So I don't even know how to. Okay, maybe you should say it, Andrew. I don't know. Like I don't want to. Okay, maybe I should just say it. How do you feel about a certain somebody using the certain community? Never mind. This is really going bad. Yeah. Never mind. I cannot say it. Over there? I just can't. So we're going to skip the whole political thing right now.
No. Come on. Politics has never been so hot.
I know, but Thomas will kill me if I talk about politics. I really want to. Dave, you and I should do a live and like really talk about it because I think and Angela is the same. She's so fucking awesome. Oh my God. Okay.
Yeah, she's.
Yeah, I'm super excited to have her.
Well, the thing is, see, I'm speaking of my own experience. I'm not talking about what I heard in the news. I lived in California when they were shutting down the sawmills because of the spotted owl. It affected me directly. You know what I mean? I'm not hearing something from the news. My wife had cancer when she was 22. She had three, you know, she was a stay-at-home mom, 3 kids, one income, which was mine. And we got the door slammed on us with all these government programs because they're like, we don't help the working class. And so I'm talking about my own personal experience. We battled that cancer for 3 years. Luckily, that was 22 years ago or whatever. But I saw it firsthand where these government programs, they're designed if you're willing to stay under their thumb. There's a threshold. But if you dare try to make it out of that thumb, you're taxed like crazy. And, you know, luckily my wife she finished a couple of degrees in college, universities. And she's realized the more you make, the more they take.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
It's
weird,
so
like,
true.
I always figured like they would have like breaks or something like that for, you know, once you get out of college, because I'm sure they have to know that you're in debt, right, from going to college and you know, gaining your education. Like there should be some sort of like tax break or whatever.
Yeah, but
The whole
I just heard
system
somebody
is rigged for a certain percentage to have money.
Yeah, but this isn't my idea. But I heard somebody say, you know, if you need your loan canceled, that means your degree ain't worth crap. Because you're supposed to go to college to make, you know, next level money. And if you're panicking on 50 grand, you know, what'd you study for? What's your degree on? The average car is 100 grand nowadays. The average house is 300. If you're scared of 50, what was your degree on? Unless you want to live poor, but $50,000 ain't squat in the US.
No.
It ain't. And I'm talking a year.
I used to survive off of, what was it? I think the most I've ever made was on a really good year. This was somewhere around 28 to 30, somewhere around there.
I'll tell you what, I've made 30 and I've made 120, and because of all the taxes, make no difference.
Yeah,
that's a crying shame.
It was really, really difficult to live out. I'm like, everything's going to bills.
Yeah,
it's really difficult for a young single person to make it these days.
Like I would wake up at like 5 a.m. I would have to drive all the way up to Chicago. I would get to work at around like 7 or something like that, and then I would start my day. I wouldn't finish to sometimes maybe 8 or 10 o'clock the night, you know, at night. And this was for like multiple days back to back, all the way up till, you know, sometimes it would be Saturday. But it never amounted to very much, and taxes definitely, you notice that taxes will take out a lot more when you make more.
Oh yeah.
It's so weird. But
you know, the whole system, Dave, you're taxed over and over and over and over and over again. People don't even pay attention to it. It's like, dude, you get taxed everywhere you go.
That's why our founding fathers made it illegal to tax income tax, because that's 100 years ago they finally changed it, but it was illegal to tax income. Why? Because people that are working shouldn't get taxed to work. You know, they shouldn't punish you for working. And our founding fathers knew that.
That doesn't make sense. Now that he brings it
up,
a
job, and we're gonna take money from you.
Yeah, like wait, why? Because we provided this job for you.
It's a strange world we live in.
The same goes for you know, if you want to adopt a kid in America, oh, I love this kid, I want to adopt him. Then the government is down your throat. But if you just foster them, oh, we'll pay you. As long as you don't love them, you don't care for them, we'll pay you to keep kids. Oh, you want to adopt them? Yeah, no. We're gonna check your background. We're gonna surprise you. You know, you got to make X amount of money. It's the opposite of how things should be run. And that's our government. I worked in the mining industry, and trust me, government knows how to. They literally take a contract and say, okay, I need this. We need to spend 10 times more than this says and last a couple more years, literally. And whoever can come up with the most expensive, longest project estimate, that guy gets the job. It's that stupid.
Okay.
Yeah, I agree with you, Dave. Hey, let's I do want to ask you well, not really a question. You kind of told me on the phone, but I find it fascinating about your mom and your dad, your grandma.
Oh yeah. Well,
Tell us the story.
well, I was very fortunate because my dad, they're like there's very few Heredias. There's not a lot. Like in the United States, there's a lot of common last names like Hernandez, Gonzalez, certain that, but Heredias, there's not that many. My dad's grandpa was 6'4", blue-eyed, Spain looking white people. So my dad fell in love with this, dark complected little Mexican. And I'm actually the darkest complected of my family. I got, my sisters have blue and green eyes and they had blonde hair when they were little. You know how they lose it. Yeah. But I'm the black sheep of the family. But I tell them my mom's a good looking one, so I took after her. Yeah, that's my. But no, it's nice to be able to love a man, that's white, blue eyed. That's my dad, and then I'd kiss my grandma, she rest in peace, a little dark Puerto Rican, and I love it because most people can't say, I'm truly colorblind, unless you can. My problem is America has helped more people than any other country in the world. And we're forgetting to appreciate that. And yes, diversity is what made us great. You know what I mean? But I was a truck driver over the road, coast to coast, Canada, and I never saw racism. You get the truck stopped, you get the working class, you ain't got time for racism. You ain't got time to complain. You got to work, or, there's 10 guys wanting your job anyways. And so, no, in the working class, that racism doesn't exist. And like I said, I've been from every city all over the United States, and I'm a short Mexican. So if anybody was going to get racism, would be me. Never saw it, And so I think if you look for racism, if you look like, they're ignoring me, or that, if you're going to find it. But you got to probe at people. Then now you're acting weird, so they're acting weird at you. And see, I told you they're racist. No, you're acting like a weirdo. Yeah, that's why they're looking at you weird.
It's so true.
Yeah, and yeah,
and I hate that. I think it's more made up than it really. I think there's more people that accept all races than there are those that don't.
America is a proof of that.
Yeah.
I'll give you an example, and this is something most people don't think about, okay? If you Google right now, the 3 most famous athletes in Canada, all 3 of them are white. If you Google the 3 most famous Mexican athletes, they're all Mexican. If you Google the 3 most famous, they're all black. That's how racist America is. And right now, they added Tom Brady. Tom Brady finally made it into the 4 most famous athletes in America, because the other ones was like Muhammad Ali and one of the Wayne sisters. That's how racist America is.
Yeah.
Look up Mexico's soccer team. There's not one black guy in their team. You're telling me all of a sudden black people aren't athletic in Mexico? Because they're athletic everywhere. But that tells you the culture of Mexico. Ask anybody that's ever worked in the prison system. Whites and Mexicans join together against the blacks, and blacks, they hate each other. You know what I mean? But they want to say that it's the white guy. It's like, you guys don't even get along. In the prison, why are the Mexicans always against the blacks and vice versa? The whites joined up with the Mexicans because they figured out it's a numbers game. It's like there's more Mexicans. It's just, team up with them. But realistically, the 2 battles that you see in prison systems, it's black and white and Mexicans. Don't like each other.
What are you drinking there, Dave?
And what is that?
This is vitamin water.
Oh, I thought it was like some kind of mango fun stuff.
No,
mango.
It's one of my favorites.
Mango tequila.
I know, right? So, but yeah, I definitely want to talk about your 2 sons. Am I correct?
Yeah.
Let's talk about them. Let's talk about the Heredia name.
Heredias.
Heredias. Did I say it? Wait, Heredias.
Heredia.
I got too many tongue twirls. Okay, let's talk about your last name. your boys. I'm so excited. You've got some stories.
Yeah, we like I said, I learned martial arts, and I don't want it. I want to teach my boys, but there's only so much you can do in the park, and so much you know, in the garage or whatever. And we needed bodies, plain and simple. And I took over the gym after this guy left, and we blew up. We just, you know, and so the boys, they were not forced to be there, but it was our business, you know, so they picked it up. So they got light years ahead of the other teenage kids, you know, because I mean, I'm going to Vegas and Pan Am competing against some of the best in the world, and I'm bringing back that to them. And see, my jiu-jitsu cheated because a structured academy, and I don't blame them because they got bills to pay. They have to elongate your promotions. You know, they have to teach you step by step. They're good steps. They just takes you longer. I was under any major affiliation, so I was just running. So I would teach my white belts, black belt level arm bars and black belt level, you know, chokes. You know, I wasn't starting with baby arm bars or baby. So our team grew exponentially, and both of my boys, I don't know how familiar you guys are with jiu-jitsu, but there's a, you know, gi, no gi, and then an absolute division. And we would win all the absolutes with my kids. And one time my oldest, he was 16. He had just won the gi, no gi, and then he won the teens absolute. So then he wanted to go against the men absolute. And for you guys to understand, I don't know how many, you know, your public doesn't understand. Absolute is the baddest guy in the building. Yes. Like, you know, it doesn't matter weight, doesn't matter ranking. It's like the baddest guy. I didn't want to let him. I said, look, if you get hurt, you know, it's on me. He's like, no, I won't get hurt, Dad. Come on. I said, no. I said, I got to pay the bill, and I got to, you know, I'm the adult. And he's like, I won't get hurt. He goes and wins it. And the guys are like, you know, one's like 6'4", and the other guy's like 6'2", like 270 pounds. And he's a 16-year-old little kid, but just a little phenom, you know. But what helped me is they could never beat me. So their goal was like, we got to beat Dad, you know. And I had the privilege of grappling with some of the best in the world. So I brought that to them, and they just owned every tournament. It got to the point, I don't know if you guys know Seth Daniels. He runs the Fight to Win Pro. One tournament, he had the absolute belt, and no one would challenge my oldest son. Like, nobody even signed up for it. They're like, nah, I'm not going there. And he grabs the belt and he slams it on the tables like, take it. It's like, I'm like, well, that's cool. And once we dominate the jiu-jitsu world, we went into the MMA world because they started turning of age. And we live so far from all the other big gyms that I would just tell them, we're fighting your champion for the belt. You know, I'm not traveling that much, spending so much money. They're not getting paid because they're not pro. I said, we'll fight your champion. So we collected every championship in Colorado. We were taking names, but
that's awesome.
Once the boys went on to Greg Jackson down in Albuquerque, I took a real step back and just kind of, you know, it's like the average, I don't know, football dad that has his kid and then hands him to an NFL coach. It's like, what are you going to do? You know, if he doesn't get him to the big, you know, he's already in the big leagues. I mean, and the boys are having a blast. They're training down. I don't know if you guys have heard of Donald Cerrone's. He's got a ranch. So they've been going down to his ranch and training down there with those guys. They said they're a blast.
Danny's awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, I gotta hit you with the poll question real quick, Dave.
Okay. I don't know the poll question, but
let me find it.
Oh,
I thought he was gonna say it.
Get up and
you said it. But you think people, can bounce back? You know, that have PTSD. You know, can they end up having successful, you know, life afterwards? And if so, you know, what do you think they need? Or, you know, like I said, I think, you know, it's not just when people think of PTSD, you know, it kind of, your mind goes to like just military, whatnot. But I think it's just anything kind of trauma. You know, we talk about, you know, she mentions she has some or whatnot. So I think a good support system and whatnot really helps you. But I know in our comments, someone put like Shia LaBeouf with Whoopi Goldberg and Mick Jagger. So
I didn't know Whoopi had
Yeah.
PTSD though. Like,
Can you?
like I can see Shia LaBeouf because like him and like it's weird. You watch his early movies and it's this happy kid, so to speak, and his early work, and then you look at him, he like disappeared for like what years or something like that, and magically popped back up again, and he looked horrible. I'm like, what happened to him? And so I feel like with a lot of Hollywood actors and mostly it seems to be a very common thing with them that they'll go through something. I don't know what, but it seems to be really traumatic and they have a hard time bouncing back from it. They end up falling into this like loop of depression, or they end up drinking or taking drugs or something like that. And it's kind of like they end up like a downward spiral. And it's like a lot of kid actors too, because like when they get up to like that certain age, they're like, oh well, I'm free to do whatever I want to do now,
and I can afford it.
And it's like a nosedive. I'm like, wait,
Yeah.
what happened? You did like a 180. You went from this like
Yeah.
happy person to like this horribly sad, depressing person.
What are your thoughts on it, Dave?
Well, to be honest, it's like John Jones comes to mind. It's easy to dog on a guy, but if you were 23 and you're the baddest guy on the planet, that's hard to deal with. Your pocket's full of cash. Everybody wants to be your friend. I mean, it's easier said than done to handle that stuff. But as far as PTSD, I did have a really close friend of mine that I was working with, and we were in a grain bin, and this big tube just hit the floor, and it made like a bomb sound. And the poor guy just lost it. I mean, I saw a 300-pound man just lose it. Like he thought he was yelling and screaming and waving his arms and just freaking out. And that was my first encounter with true, somebody traumatic like that. And the good thing now is we have science where they can scan your brain and what, trigger certain things, but you can't downplay it. I mean,
that's what Angela said. Angela said that they can do that. They can literally tell you how much PTSD you have, how much trauma you have in your brain. I thought that was really cool.
It's scar. Yeah, it leaves like a scar indentation. But I mean, I know martial arts helps because, especially jujitsu, because jujitsu is more of a, it's real. There's so much to learn. Like you'll never learn all jujitsu. It's kind of like a guitar, or you'll never. But the camaraderie, the family that the gym brings, because an idle mind is it's Satan's playground. I mean, if you're not busy doing something, you're gonna fall back. You gotta. And I know right now with social distancing, it's kind of hard.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one because I'm like the same way. If I'm not doing something, it like leads into like bad habits or like kind of almost like a depression or something like that. Like
yeah,
it's like a shark syndrome. You have to keep moving in order to I guess have a healthy mind, so to speak.
I mean, this is just like diet. Everybody knows they need to drink more water. Everybody knows, you got to eat some veggies, but we choose our own destruction. Sometimes we're our worst best enemy.
Yeah,
we really are. If you're busy, and some people have it hard, accidents, they were abused. I can't put a number on that. I don't know their level of trauma. I would never downplay anybody's situation. Unfortunately, we're living in a world of people that are faking gone through these traumas and making it desensitized to us or to be, empathetic or to these people, because you got all these fakers pretending that. I've done security, and you have these girls and you're watching them and they're yelling, "He's raping me." And I'm like, I'm 20 feet away from you, and that's a problem we're having in society, that so many people are crying wolf, that the people that are being abused don't get the right attention and don't get the right services, because everybody's like, oh, okay, yeah, another one, and that's a tragedy.
Yes, it's true. It truly is. And sometimes it often is misunderstood PTSD a lot is misunderstood. And that's what I get from a lot of people I know who suffer from it, including myself. People are like, oh, you're bipolar, or they label it something else. And it's like, no, that's not what it is. And because it's not a constant, I don't think it's a constant thing. At least for me, it's not. And it just like triggers or little things that'll pop up and you're like, yeah, today's going to be a tough day. Today was a tough day for myself. I don't know. I've been struggling this week. Like my biggest fear was, pardon Dustin, he's got to get my little one from the garage. But anyway, what I was telling Andrew earlier today is that I kind of, I think I suffer from that. And I think, I've been working out really hard and doing different things. And then it just kind of suddenly hit me this week. And it's like I've been I've been crying off and on this week, and it's not hormones. It's totally not hormones. It triggers back to when I was really sick. And it's just small little things that'll make me think like, oh my gosh, I'm going to die. I don't know how to explain it. It's traumatic when you're at that brink. It's like a brink of something, like it just ultimately shocks you. I don't know how to explain it.
Where that support team comes in, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think as someone mentioned in the comments, I think it's kind of different for everybody. Like you mentioned, it's hard to kind of speak on someone else's level. Wasn't in your shoes. I can't speak for you. That it's not for me. But, it is a serious thing. And, people got to try to, like you said, those people that are crying wolf, it's the people that really have it aren't being heard, and it's sad. It's unfortunate. So, yeah, unfortunately, I think that you just need a support team and you could still, overcome it. I just haven't
Andrew's a great support friend.
It's hard. I try to do what I can do,
Yeah.
She was in the fight industry, like you might know of, and I was fighting doing MMA. So we might knew of each other before we actually knew each other. And then I happened to move across the street and
oh, nice.
And we
Cross path.
like to fight and just talk about stuff, just kind of kick shit like you are. But yeah, real quick, you've had a couple fights. You've fought a couple times.
Yeah, what's funny is I started fighting before fights were even sanctioned. Back when people were fighting in rings. We had boxing rings, and so those don't count. Well, they're not on paper, but see, I was a young kid when Bloodsport first came out. I remember, I think I was 16 or 17, and I saw that in the theater, and I knew that's what I wanted to do. It's like I was just a kid, and I'm like, I need to do that. And fast forward, whatever, 15 years later, whatever, a guy brings a show to our little town here in Alamosa. I get his phone number. I'm like, dude, I want to fight. And he's like, no, this is like real fighting. I'm like, yeah, I want to do that. He says, well, have you trained before? I said, yeah, I used to box and I did some traditional martial arts. I went in there, got destroyed for 2 rounds. But I was having so much fun. Like, to me, I was Van Damme in the Kumite, as far as I was concerned. And I won the fight because the guy got tired of hitting me. He didn't come out for the 3rd round. He was like, I can't. But he's elbowed me, and I got a smile on my face like the Joker, And what happened with mine is it was in the earlier days, so it didn't pay nothing. So I'd line up a fight, and it would fall through. It'd line up a fight, and then it would go through, or the show would get canceled. And when you train for over a year, just, because anybody that's ever been on fight camp knows what that feels like. Imagine going a year of fight camp, just every day for a straight year, 3 hours a day after work, just killing yourself. So the best thing that happened to me is I lost my pro debut because I didn't train for the guy. I was like, I got this. The guy knocks me out. I take another fight like in 2 weeks. I beat the crap out of that poor guy. He wasn't supposed to be in there with me anyways. But we have a saying in the business that coaches coach, promoters promote, and fighters fight. And anytime you mix one or the other, it never works. You can't be running a gym and be a fighter, or you can't be a fighter and running a gym and, trying to coach everybody, and vice versa. And best thing that happened to me is I lost my pro debut and I went into coach mode. I'm like, okay, if I'm too old to fight, then I'll just concentrate on coaching. And apparently I had a knack for it. So I tell people the best thing that happened to me was losing my pro debut. And see, remember I told you about me going to so many different schools. I didn't want that to do with my boys. I was into mining construction. So, we did all the heavy equipment, Caterpillars, loaders, dozers, track hoes. And I was going to move to Nevada when the UFC started going, because there's still a lot of mining over there. And I was going to go to Extreme Couture. Like, I had a plan. But then I saw my two boys and I'm like, I promised I wasn't going to wreck their lives taking them to a big city, chasing my dream. I'll put what I went through, and I had to pass it. I had to pass on my dream to chase it, because I already had two boys, and living in Vegas, I mean, who knows what would have happened there.
So, Dave, do you want to stay on and say hello to Angela for a little bit? When she comes on?
We can. I could say hi and bye.
Yeah, we could say hi and bye. I don't think she's ready yet, but I just we've got a couple minutes, and a couple minutes there, Steve. I think I have to read. Okay, I have to read from the sponsors. Look, I'm learning this whole thing. So
Hey.
bear with me. I got to do a word from the sponsor. Many of us, where is it? Oh,
Here we go.
Many of us and our families deal with mental health and addiction issues. We are happy to support the Counseling Center and Sunrise Detox. If you need help, please call 856-651-8117. And also, thanks. That would have been really helpful, because I can't see well. Okay. And another one from Pioneer Project Management right here in Summinock, Illinois, for your roof, siding, and gutters needs. Give them a call, guys, out there in Summinock, Illinois. Okay. Next time you guys are doing it.
Yeah.
First time.
Next, guys, you guys are doing the next sponsor. Ding ding. Now I know
watching the fights tomorrow.
Yeah. I mean, they had to pile up that many title shots because, unfortunately, I don't think Adesanya has that kind of pool, but it is stacked. You're gonna get your money's worth, that's for sure. I'm excited for a few of them.
You think he's gonna be double champ, or you think he's biting?
I was a doubter, if I'm honest, and he's proven me wrong more than once. And I want to doubt him again, but I mean, numbers don't lie, man. You
think those 20 pounds play a factor, though?
I mean, but that's what we were saying about everybody that was bigger and stronger than him, and he's, like I said, I have never been an easy fan, but he's
good though. Yeah.
He's convincing me that the hype is real. I really thought he was a hype train, and he's proven me wrong.
He'll beat John Jones or what?
I don't know. I think John Jones has that reach, and he could stay longer than most of his opponents that he's faced.
Like you said, Greg Jackson, he's got really good coaches, man. Knows how to put a game plan together, execute it, and win.
Yeah, and it's worked. It's like what's his name from the Patriots? That coach, it worked. Whatever they were doing.
Bill, no, he did not deflate the footballs. Okay.
Yeah. Hey, if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying.
Just like the election. No, I'm just kidding. Oops. I didn't say nothing.
Yeah, you don't want to go there. I think cancel culture is alive and well.
Oh, look. He said, Sean Brady, Philly baby. Yeah, he's excited for Sean Brady. And what else did he say?
Sean Brady's on the card. I want to say he came from like the Contender series or something, but Yeah, if it's the fighter we're talking about, I definitely have some money on him.
Wait.
Now I want to search.
What's the search word?
Like, wait, let me check.
That's really bad when you can't remember who you just put money on.
Right?
Oh, that's really bad.
Well, at least they didn't call it a race.
Yeah. I know you're a Philly guy, Steve. Steve's in the background. A2D radio is Philly as well.
Yeah, undefeated. Okay, yeah.
Undefeated.
If I'm not
Oh.
mistaken, tatted up cat. Real good ground game. Undefeated though, yeah. Come on, buddy, make me some money.
Yeah. Dave's like,
Yeah.
What do you think about people placing bets on fights? I guess they do it all the time. Right?
I mean, it's legal. I mean, if you're in the business and you know the business and you're not just a crapshoot, I mean, why not make it? It's easy money. You know, it's somewhat of a gamble. But if you're a pro and you know stats, and more likely you're going to win more than you lose. But if you're just, you know, taking a bonus and trying to get rich, don't do that.
And with that said, I do parlays, so I do like 6 or 7 and thing, and I bet $1, and I'll maybe win anywhere from $30 to $100. So yeah, I'm not the gambling type. I go to roulette. I'll the casino, $100, lose it 2 rounds, I'm out. I can't. Yeah. I'm like, nope.
Yeah.
If
I teach people to gamble, and you take the money you want to lose. You know, whatever amount that is, whether it's $1 or $500.
Except the fact that you already lost it, so that you already right. I like that.
Look, I'll tell you my little first gambling story. I've never gambled a day in my life. Yeah, and so I was taken to the casino here, and I was, huh?
The boat?
Yeah, whatever the boat thing is in Aurora.
Yeah,
what is that? What is it? The Harris Casino?
No,
Hollywood Casino. Yeah. And so I went there. Of course, I was a little bit younger and wearing cute stuff. But back in the day, those carefree young mentality. But anyway, I went there with $100 and I walked out with $3,000. And I'm like, of course, they serve you as much alcohol as you want.
So that's where those Christmas gifts came from that year.
But it's funny. So I was a little tipsy at by the end of the night, and I went to cash in, and oh my gosh, I was like, I won, and everybody's like, what did you win? I'm like, oh, I won 3,000. Like, oh. To me, it was like, damn, I just came out with $1 million, even though it's 3,000. I'm so excited. It was exciting because I don't usually win things. Do you win things, Andrew?
I learned to gamble.
I would say I have no luck, but bad luck is some type of luck. So I don't put myself in a position to do that. I've in everything, man, like getting in trouble, this or that. I try to not put myself in a position to have to deal with this or deal with that or rate whatever it is. So because a lot of these things, like when things happen, you got to be honest and be like, well, not that what they did, I'm not taking away from that, but like, why were you there? What were you doing? Oh, you just stole some shit? Oh, you were trying to rob somebody? Like, of course,
wait a minute.
A Clint Eastwood's gonna come out, so it's just I stay out of shit. Now I'm 29, I got an 8-year-old and one on the way. Prevent myself from situations. That's what I follow. And I only do mess with what I have power over. I can't change other people, so I focus on me. I got my people I hang out with, but focus on myself, focus on mine, and enjoy my life. Like we said, it's too short. Live each day like it's the last or whatever. The present, live in the present. A present is a gift, so enjoy that gift. So
I tell people to find your 3. Okay, King David had 30 mighty men, but he had his 3. Christ himself had 12 disciples, but he had his 3. He says, if you find your 3 people, and they're going to have 3, maybe you're one of them, and that's how you create unity, because how many times have you met somebody and you say, if you're cool with this guy, you're cool with me? Why? Because out of respect to you, that friend, like if he calls you friend, you're my friend. And that's the kind of people we got to be. Instead of worried about the world, find our 3. invest everything on them 3, and they're going to invest in 3 and those in 3. And that's how you get progress instead of trying to fix the world, thousands of miles away.
Yeah,
Jordan Peterson is
in the world, but corrupt government or whatever the case is. But if we start with ourselves and be a little nicer to each other, you know what I'm saying? Like, sounds cliche, but it really is, man. We are mean as hell to each other. Like, oh, you're black or you're Mexican, so fuck you. It's like, damn. Yeah. But if you actually talk to that person, because I've had people where we've had a misunderstanding and, walking in the hallway, I'm like, dude, if I catch you one day, and sure enough, I catch him when we talk, and I'm like, you cool, dude. Like, I'll fuck with you. Like, what you doing next Saturday? But, so we got to start with ourselves, man. People got to stop being so damn mean. So vicious out there, man. Love each other. Go back to the
Stop being offended. Come on, let's have some fun and have jokes again.
Right. That's why MMA, you can punch each other in the mouth and, big old hug at the end.
Shake your hand after. And, right. So. Yeah.
I just try to kill you.
Oh my gosh, look, you guys, we're being stared at. Look. Oh, look at his cute little face. I wish you could see him, Dave. He's so cute. I have a bearded dragon, and he's just chilling in his little bed with a pillow, and he's got his face, and he's just looking at us.
Now I got a 100-pound pit.
Oh my God, do you? Can we see? Where's the baby?
You can go to my Facebook, go to my pictures, you'll see that.
Stop, Dave.
He's an ox.
No way. Okay, wait.
But he's
I have a pitty too, but she is not 100 pounds.
He's the biggest teddy bear you'll ever see.
Does he have a big head?
Yeah. If I trimmed his ears, it would look bigger, but I can't do it to him.
Let me see if I can. I'm looking for a picture. Look, sorry guys, I'm looking
Yeah,
because I love dogs.
What's your
Dave Heredia?
There you go, guys.
Yeah, tell us where you're at.
Yeah, where can we find your fun self?
Maybe we got some people out there by you that want to, come and try to.
Right, and you'll even see my black grandma.
Stop it!
I'm serious.
You have pictures of 2 doggies on here. One with bright blue eyes. Holy whoa! It's so cute. Which one is yours? There's 2. Really? There's 2, Dave.
Okay, that's another Dave. That's me, but you know how when you started your account?
Yeah.
At first, you didn't think about saving the passwords or anything. You're just all, oh look, Facebook. And I had that one forever. And then I broke a phone or whatever, and I tried to log back in, and it just never let me back. So the real one will have my face, but it'll have a Team Beef on it. Like, you know how everybody's using that.
I don't know. You have a badass photo on here with you, like with glasses, looking like a straight mafia.
It needs to say Team Beef.
Team Beef. Okay, so are you saying? Oh, Dave. I'm like, is somebody impersonating you?
No, that's my first Facebook. I could never log back in on it.
Team Beef.
Yeah, it says on my profile. It says Team Beef. Because support our ranchers, because they want us to stop eating meat.
Let me see. Hey. Oh wait. Oh well, that's not what she said. No, I'm just kidding. Oh. Dave, I'm pretty funny.
Dirty.
Wait, I can't. Okay, so did you find it? Yeah, but Dave, we can't find you. We're trying to find you, Dave.
Let me see. That's my dog.
Oh my God, it's so cute.
He's a 100 pit, but yeah, he's a teddy bear. I love pits. I'm one of those people that are
I have a pitty too. Her name is Vesta. She's got a little heart on her ear, I shouldn't say little. It's kind of big on her ear, and it takes up her whole ear, but it's in the shape of a heart. She's so adorable. I love pitties. I love pitties. Yeah. I would breed them and have tons of pitties all over my house. They're the best dogs ever.
Hands
in
down.
My personal opinion. Don't get offended, guys. Okay, Chihuahuas are okay, and golden retrievers are okay.
No little.
I just prefer pitties. I prefer pitties.
Yeah, I got lucked out that my wife loves tits. So
Does
yeah.
she? Oh my goodness. And so wait a minute. If I recall per our phone conversation, your wife, did she work with Angela or
No,
did they work
she
how did they meet?
she used to work for Save the Children, and so
Oh.
they do response for like Harvey and Maria. And when Maria hit Puerto Rico, she went down there and spent 6 months, helping, with the children and supplies and stuff like that. But because she has a jiu-jitsu background, she looked for a gym, and that's where they ran into each other. Because she was training jiu-jitsu up there.
Wow. That is amazing. So how long ago was that? Do you think Angela will remember?
What? I don't know how long in Maria.
I finally found the pictures on his.
Oh, we found you.
Found old pictures.
We found you.
Team beef.
Yeah.
So
Now let me see if I can find you.
I put Dave Heredia in the search bar, and then I hit post. And if you scroll down a little bit, he posts his boy Grizzly.
Oh my
Look at that boy.
Oh,
Okay.
I'm sending you a friend request, Dave. So was I talking to the wrong Dave? No.
No, I don't think so. I'm accepting you right now.
Ah, yes. Okay. So then how have we been communicating on Facebook? How did this work?
Well, no, because we were inboxing, and I you were catching me.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
But because that other David is an older profile,
Dave.
so it comes up on people because it was.
I see
Yeah.
it. Okay. And I see. Yeah. Oh. Is that, wait a minute. Is that your grandmother?
Yeah. Remember I was telling you?
She's beautiful. Look at grandma.
Being creepy over your pictures.
No, she's beautiful.
And then if you scroll down a little more,
okay,
I made a meme where my dad and I, because he's white.
Stop it.
Check this out. Just keep going down.
When you sleep through your Coca-Cola training. Oh, wait. Oops, sorry.
No, it should look like this. It'll have me like leaning on him.
You are leaning on him.
Yeah.
Oh. Coca-Cola be like, try to be less white, Dad. Oh my God. Look, we can have fun, peeps. Don't get offended.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm buying Mexican Coke now. No American.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, you guys have the cutest little Coke bottles. When I went to Puerto Vallarta, I can't.
Vallarta.
Thank you. When I went there, they had the cutest little Coke bottles and old-fashioned little thingies, and they have like all the original like candies and stuff. I'm like, oh my God.
You know why it tastes better, right?
Yes, it does. Totally
you know why?
Different. Why?
Because they use sugar cane and we use corn syrup.
Ah, I hate corn syrup. I can totally tell a difference. My stomach does not agree with corn syrup.
It's so weird.
Buy Mexican Coke.
It's in everything, but Mexican Coke, it definitely tastes better. The real
It's cane. It's all cane sugar.
And we can get Mexican Coke here in the States. Oh, okay.
It's a little bit more expensive, but
hey, I would rather pay top dollar to get something that's
like
even Walmart carries them.
Yeah.
Get out. Do they really?
Jewel carries them too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Jewel is like our local grocery store. I don't know what happened to Angela, but I think Steve's working on it. I'm sorry, you guys, but hey, Dave could go in and tell us a story about Shoni.
Wait, what? Damn it! Everybody knows Shoni. Damn it! Who doesn't know this guy?
I know. I know it's a PG-13. No, it's 17 and older in this show. We do have a disclaimer: 17 and over, folks.
Sorry,
Keep
children.
your kids at home. What they say? Who is that? Oh, that's you, Andrew.
I
thought it was a new comment. I'm like, look, I cannot see right now because my left eye has some issues. So somebody asked the question, like, what's wrong with your left eye? Both my eyes have suffered permanent damage. I have I guess apparently there's oil glands or something in your eyes, and it keeps your eyes moisturized or something like that. So apparently when I had this specialized test and exam through my eye doctor, who by the way is phenomenal, he said, I've never seen this in someone in your age group, but you have no oil glands. I said, what are you talking about? I have no oil glands. So he showed me the picture, and so that's a big part of the problem. So I get these eye infections, and I'll get like a staph infection on my eyelid, which he said there's just nothing else they can do other than just treat it with a steroid and an antibiotic. So every month I have my own he's medicated me at home. So I have my own medication at home for it, but it's annoying. It's hard to wear makeup. It's hard to function, and I have a permanent disfigurement, so my left eye is actually much larger than my the right eye, and so from rubbing and constantly, because it gets really bad. So yeah, they're talking about having a possible lower lid surgery to kind of get the lower lid to attach to the eyeball a little bit more, because it's come apart. It's kind of, it sucks.
Sounds horrible. This sounds horrible. I'm like,
yeah. So,
like, wait, what?
So I don't have the ability to keep my eyes moist. I have to put these eye drops or these specific, it's like an oil on your eyeballs. But yeah, you have to lubricate, and it's an all day affair. Like if you forget to do it, your eye is going to water. If you forget, it's just, I mean, every hour I'm supposed to do it. And that sucks. Who the hell remembers? Oh, I got to put eye drops in my eye every hour. Right, wow. Exactly. Oh my God, Andrew, you're so funny.
You guys fight the same thing when you get high eye. Let's call it high eye.
No, but yeah.
Yeah, Dave, we had a couple of poll questions a couple shows ago, where we talked about professional athletes displaying marijuana usage on their social media. What do you think about that?
With all the poison that we're getting on these, I mean, you go to these malls where they sell supplements. What are you getting? Realistically, most of us can't even read the ingredients.
Yeah,
if we're honest. And marijuana is as close to nature as you're gonna get. Like, I'm not an advocate, but if you're gonna take something else just because it's in a jar with white pills, it's easier for you to justify it. But you're taking some other supplement or drug, and somebody else is eating a gummy or a cookie with THC and getting, a good night's sleep or a, restful training. I'm not going to knock them. What they do need to do, because see, I live in a state where it's legalized, right? So it's pretty rampant around here. And they just need to make a test, kind of like alcohol, if you're high that day or that, not get stoned on Friday and then get fired on Monday because you partied with you guys, and that's the problem with THC right now. But yeah, you're talking about something far more natural than anything else that doctors or scientists are producing. And I know Big Pharma hates it because it's undercutting them with all their fancy drugs.
Yeah, don't get me started on Big Pharma. I have some really terrible things. I mean, let me say a word from the sponsor real quick. Yeah. Oh no, that's a disclaimer. Yeah. Never mind. Well, look, all I see is the D word.
Oh wait, there it is. No, there it is.
No. Wait, what does it say?
There it is.
Oh, no, that's the disclaimer. No, I'm not going to read that.
Right there. It's up there.
Where? Oh.
It's going to pop up on the phone shortly.
Okay.
There it is.
Let me get closer. Many of us and our families deal with mental health and addiction issues. We are happy to support. Oh, yes, I can see the Counseling Center and Sunrise Detox. If you need help, please call 856-651-8117. I know we're gonna write these down so I can actually read them.
Yeah.
But yeah.
All this screen time, we don't realize it's messing our eyes up.
Yeah. What is it? It's called the Blu-rays or something like that. Something about the Blu-rays affects our vision.
There's a setting now on your phone. I didn't know until like the other day or whatever, but apparently there's like a natural light or blue light setting or whatever where it changes the screen at night so it doesn't hurt your eyes as much.
And Facebook.
And the glasses are getting popular.
Yes. And Facebook has actually come out with the midnight version. I don't know how to explain that, but it's like the whole background is all black.
Darker. Yeah.
So I switched mine to that one that was first available. Because I do find it annoying to the light. It's just weird. Annoying.
I noticed though, I mean, granted, it's probably because I'm staying up too late and not getting enough sleep. But anyway, I'll always be on the phone like late at night just watching weird food videos. But anyway, I watch a lot of food porn. Mostly for
guilty.
So but I'll like wake up in the morning with like a headache or something. I'm like, what happened? Like, felt like a train hit me, and I'm like, oh, it could have been from, watching my phone all night.
I am not sure what happened with Angela. I did speak with her for a little bit today, and my phone died. We were right in the middle of an awesome conversation because I think she's phenomenal. And my phone died.
She's mad at you because your phone died.
I know, but I texted her as soon as I came back on and I said, I'm so sorry, but my phone died. And I didn't even realize it wasn't at capacity to even have a full conversation. But we had a really, really good conversation. So I'm sure something came up, or maybe the times I get it all the time. The times are mixed up. You got Eastern Standard Time, but you said Central Standard Time.
She's
so
gonna try and come on at like 8 o'clock. Like, wait a minute, it's too late now.
I know. So what are some things? Go ahead, Andrew.
I think you running your own gym. I think one of our other poll questions from the other day would be real good. So I don't know if I shouldn't say if you're aware, but the whole transgender thing going on, between males competing. So you only have males at your gym, or do you have your co-ed?
No, we were co-ed because in smaller gyms you got to be co-ed. I mean, because I never ran into that issue. I had a couple of guys that came in that were, gay, but it wasn't an issue. They kept it under wraps, and it was, nobody really made a big deal about it. And some guys, I mean, they kind of feel uncomfortable themselves and they leave, but I think we're in an era where it's not new,
How about competing wise though? You think like
competing, I'm 100% against it.
Yeah.
And hear me out. Look, we have midget competitions for midgets or little people. I forget the correct term. Right? Because they can't compete with, certain people that are 2 feet taller. We have Special Olympics for handicaps. People are losing. You're saying you're special, and we're going to give you your special.
Yeah.
We'll create a special ranking for you, just like the handicap, just like the midgets, or just like, because you're saying I'm not a man or I'm not a woman. Okay, well, midgets can't change their height. So they compete with midgets. They're happy. What is the correct? Little people? I don't want to be offending anybody.
Little people probably is a little better, or vertically challenged.
I completely forget there is a terminology for it.
Yeah.
I forgot.
Yeah. Whatever the correct one is.
Don't say dwarves or don't say midgets.
There's different size little people.
Yeah.
Not different.
But it's fair. They compete against each other. Google it. I mean, you can go on YouTube and find them competing against each other. It's like what is this? The ones that compete, that do everything. They lift weights and swim and
decathlon.
Yes.
Is it decathlon or triathlons?
Maybe it's
not the triathlons. It's the actual decathlon. Yeah, there's like a annual championship now, and they got.
Like a combine challenge or something?
No. It's kind of like that, but it's like a professional sport now.
Oh.
The heck is it?
Oh, it's about powerlifting or not powerlifting? Strongman?
It's not strongman. It's
what?
These guys got to run, swim, lift weights. Climb.
Billy Madison did it in like in his.
Oh, show me this. That's a good one. That's a good one.
It-
I
it-
gotta figure out what this is.
I'm not.
It's the,
Oh wait, I think I know what you're talking about though. I think I know. What
yeah,
you're talking about. Where
it's
they're kinda
super
like-
popular.
Yeah, they pop up like everywhere. There's like outdoor courses and stuff like that, right?
Yeah, there's this big arena, you know, and then when they run for miles, they swim, forever.
Yeah.
Anyway, they're in a different level of competition. And you and I can't compete with them. They're special people. Why? Because they can swim, they can run, they can jump, they can climb. You know, they're a special form of athlete. So these transgender people, okay, you're special. Let's give you your own room, you know, so you can be special together, you know, like little people. And
I agree with that statement, Dave. I agree. I think that's one of the things I said that and Andrew, we all agreed that they should have their own.
And that's
It's just there's
Hey.
biologically you cannot
see,
just because you cut a penis off or
it would-
balls or whatever, you cannot
it
change
would
the fact that
still-
there is a man
it would
inside
still
that body.
it would still be diversified though to a point, like transgender girls to transgender boys. You know,
Mhm.
But there's
it would
leagues
still have to be-
within a league, you have brackets. You know what I mean? You could
Yeah.
put it in brackets. Oh, it was a CrossFit. What I was trying to tell you guys,
Ah,
people-
CrossFit.
Oh, CrossFit,
Wow, how
yeah.
did we forget
Yeah.
that?
right?
Not
And-
important.
Right. But what I'm saying is they're different kind of level athletes. They're special. They have their own, you know, they made their own thing. They didn't come and crash somebody else's party. You know what I mean? They're like, we want to do this. And they made their own thing, called it their own name, CrossFit. And that's what people need to start doing is creating instead of tearing what somebody else already did. Well, create something for yourself and show us how great you are.
Yeah.
See,
You know, because we suck what we did, but you gather together and create something instead of trying to tear down what somebody else built.
I
That's
like
my take. I'll give you an example. I had two students that would always question like, hey, you should do this in your gym, or you should do this. Or you know what I ended up telling them? I said, I'll tell you what, I'm going to give you 10 students. They're all yours. I do the facility. We do all the coaching. All you got to do is convince them to come and all the money's yours. That's, if you charge them $100 a month, that's 10. That's $1,000 a month that you get free and clear. And they couldn't recruit anybody. You know what I mean? Because people that aren't doing something, it's easy to critique what somebody else is doing. It's easy to try to make rules on that show. No, make your own. Joe Rogan, I think, has a bit on that where it's like, build something, do something. All these people that were rioting, they've never built a shed. So they don't know the cost. They don't know the millions of dollars that they're damaged because they've never even built a shed. They've never gone to Home Depot, bought equipment, and actually built something. So it's easy to tear down what somebody else built.
True. No, he didn't just get some sizzle. No. Dave tells it
as it is.
as it is.
Straight.
That's why we love Dave.
I'm a grandpa. I'm too old to care.
Yeah, so I'm a grandma, you're a grandfather. How does that work? How do you feel about the kids not being in school?
I'm
I'm not
fortunate.
sure how it's working out there, but we're not in school yet.
Yeah. I'm not so worried about even COVID and all these mandates. I'm worried about what's coming next. This is just like a test drive for what's coming.
Yeah.
They're testing the waters of compliance. They're seeing who's going to adjust and who isn't. That's what I'm not even worried about. This whole wave, it's brace yourself for what's coming. Because 9/11 taught us one thing, that we're going to stand in line with our shoes in our hand while they're groping our 2-year-old little granddaughter and we can't do nothing, while they're groping grandma that's 90 and we can't do nothing. And we gave up our rights and we'll stand there with our shoes because we don't want to be banned from from flying. So if we can comply, if 9/11 would have never happened and I told you, you know what, you're going to stand in line and watch somebody grope your child and you're not going to say nothing, I would tell you you're crazy.
Yeah.
But now it's the norm. We take our shoes off, we stand in line, they x-ray us and we don't even. And so what's coming with this COVID they're testing the waters, how much they can control. That's what I'm worried about. And that's why I tell people, stay healthy. Because when my wife had cancer, I found out fast that chemotherapy is not medicine. It's poison.
Yes.
Your body heals itself. So if you stay healthy, you drink water, you exercise, you try to, your body will take care of you. But if you're out making your body sick, sugar diabetes is the biggest, baddest elephant in the room, and nobody's talking about it. It's killing everybody.
Yeah, and think about it. Why is that? Because all our foods are artificial and corn syrup and all the hidden chemicals. It's bad. It's really, really bad.
I feel like if you don't like figure out a diet or like some sort of like homeostasis in terms of like, food wise and what you eat and intake on a daily basis, you're ultimately going to lead to diabetes eventually, because there's sugar in everything, and everybody always eats an overabundance of everything.
Yeah.
And
It tastes so
it's
good.
like something so small could be packed with so many calories. It's ridiculous. Like, what's the how do people know how much sugar's in something
Like
or whatever?
Gatorade's not even a Gatorade
Like,
anymore.
Yeah, no.
Just a sugar.
Like, and I'm not gonna lie,
sugar.
I bake stuff, but I have a good guesstimate as to how much sugar is in there.
Yeah.
But you got to drink.
But you know what? There's like sugar alternatives. Now I'm not talking about chemicals.
talking about, like,
There
stevia?
there are actual plants that you can use for sugar, and I didn't
fruits.
realize until Coach told me, you need to nip the arugula out of your diet. I said, why? And he goes, because it's got sugar in it, and you can't have sugar.
I didn't know that.
I was
didn't know
like,
certain
what?
vegetables have sugar in it.
I love arugula.
It doesn't taste sweet to me.
Well, it really doesn't. But it's not a sour
Is it
type of. I don't know how to explain it.
does it
It's
taste
definitely
like a vegetable? Is my question.
Oh, of course, it tastes.
Well,
like
then it's not sweet to me.
Right, is a vegetable.
There's your answer.
Does it taste like candy? If not, then okay, I don't want it.
Yeah. Yeah, sugar's bad.
Yeah, I think
everything in moderation, but we live in a world of excess now, to where everything's available at like the snap of your fingers, especially if you have the money for it. People who have a lot of money, they really don't care. They're like, oh, we'll just throw more money at that problem.
Yeah, but there's a myth that people in the poor communities are obese because it's expensive to eat healthy. I put that to the test. And if you eat at McDonald's, it's still $8 to $10 a meal.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like I was.
If you take,
it doesn't rot, guys.
Poor people have no excuse, because it's cheap.
With those 10, if you go to $10 and you go to a grocery store,
like I could pick up like, what is it? 3 pounds of like lean ground turkey for like $10, over like a Big Mac, which has like 4,000 times the amount of calories is the lean ground.
And
turkey.
these days, you can't tell what's beef. I mean, is it real beef they're putting in there? I'm just saying, you guys.
Yeah, that's the other thing too. Is like, not all beef is created equal.
No,
that is definitely not true.
I have to say that it was funny, because Des and I were coming back from the gym, and we were just kind of like talking about our stomachs and how we feel after we eat beef. And it's like,
but it's like certain beef.
Yeah, it's really weird.
Like, it has to be, for me, the best type of beef is like organic and
grass fed.
Grass fed. Yeah.
Grass fed definitely has a different taste to it, for sure. But I have to say that, I don't know, these days I can't tell what's real beef and what's not. I mean,
that's why you go to the butcher.
Yeah,
Right?
exactly. And I'm learning that. And that's the other thing I wanted to bring up. It is not expensive to eat healthy, because you can, and you're going to be doing two things. You're going to be helping yourself, and you're going to be helping your local farmer. That's where you get all your fresh fruits and vegetables from, and you're supporting your local farmer. We're losing our local farmers. Our farmers are selling. Well, shut.
Yeah,
your
I heard that. Yeah, local.
They're
local
local. No,
farmer.
but they're selling their farms.
That's why Bill Gates is buying them.
Yeah, and we have got to support our farmers a lot more than we do, instead of supporting these big grocery stores that I'm not going to go into, are owned by God knows who. So
if it says China,
yeah,
the label.
It's surprising that you can, as things come out, you realize how much China has their hands in America already and how the door has already been opened to that. I'm learning what companies are owned by China, and I'm appalled at how that happened.
These,
I mean,
these originally, a lot of them were originally American companies, right?
yeah, they were
They're just
originally
bought
American
out.
companies, and they were bought out. Even like, and I don't know, I'm hearing this rumor that, and I can't say it's true or not, but the buildings that were burned down in the riots, they're coming in and buying those. So those businesses are not going to be able to come back. They're going to be owned by a different ownership, and they have a different agenda for that area.
It's smart. You destroy the
Their
building,
plan executed.
buy it for like real cheap.
So there's so much to say on that, Dave, and it's so sad. Are you frozen or are you still there?
No.
I think Dave froze.
Did he freeze? Oh.
Okay, maybe you're gonna come. I think you're frozen, but maybe you might come back, Dave.
It's weird.
You're frozen. You're really frozen. You're like stiff.
Oh damn it.
Uh-oh, we lost Dave.
Then
Sorry,
before
Dave.
I forget, maybe it's more of like, I'm sure you can find things that like cost more. You know, you can be like, oh well, you know, eating healthy, but maybe it's just more work to eat healthy. People don't want to take that extra.
Nobody wants to actually
search something.
You know,
it's scary to find the truth when you really see how much sugar and shit in you. I mean, so
nobody wants to
we
take
choose
the
to be
time to
blind
cook
these days.
food anymore. That I'm not. I mean,
I like a homemade meal, man.
Yeah,
it's a
homemade
pain in
meal.
the ass to have to prep food.
I had a
But
pound
it's
steak,
worth it.
Steak at lunchtime today.
It's
Banging,
the other
man.
thing
Oh,
too.
no,
It's
no,
really
good.
it's really hard to trust organic food still. I try to find things that are non-GMO. That's the most important thing, is to find things that do not have GMO in
Explain
it.
what that exactly.
GMO is a genetically modified something. I forget what it is. Organism or something like that. Oh, it's there's no nutrition in the food anymore. It's like a plastic. You can tell the difference between non-GMO and a regular piece of fruit that has been genetically modified. So like when you have like your apple pear or your pear apple, and they try to splice it and they make other things. Some fruits are not like that, but they just happen naturally.
You talking about like hybrids and stuff like that? Is that like a GMO? Is that what you're talking about?
No, this is more of like a chemically grown
I was pissed for
fruit.
a second. I'm like, I like Honeycrisp apples.
No,
that's a hybrid.
no,
apple.
that's not a hybrid. That's a real apple, Dustin.
Okay, I was gonna say. Like,
yeah, so it's
those fighting words.
yeah, he loves his apple crisp, or Honey Crisp. That's what it is. Honey Crisp apples. Now that would be great in some brownies.
I know.
Oh. Look, Andrew's like, what? Yeah, Dustin is on a venture, a business adventure, and so we'll be announcing that. And look out for the Facebook page and everything. I know, this is so funny. Oh my gosh, phillydrinkers.com/pages/A2D radio.
Disclaimer.
Can you? Oh yes. So I'm not sure who's still on with us, and we'd like to get some audience feedback on PTSD. What do you guys think, and what's your experience?
Successful even when you suffer from PTSD.
Yes.
In case you guys got out there, didn't hear it. So once again, I think you can. It just support team. I think for me, once again, I'm speaking from an outside. I haven't experienced it, so easier said than done in a sense, you know. So, but yeah, I know a couple people. Like I said, most of the people I know is military wise, but you know, I have a friend sitting next to me, you know, so we try.
I definitely think it you know, well, revisiting the topic, it's true. One example is an uncle that I have, or a step uncle, who was in the military, who went to, I believe, Afghanistan, and he came back on a medical discharge, and if I'm not mistaken, it's a medical discharge. But you know, this guy has he saw so much shit. He wasn't the same when he came back. And we're talking about a guy who like saw friends die in front of him and whatnot. So yeah, he was very what do you call it? Like traumatized from that experience. But now he's kind of like turned that into like a positive because now he runs like a if I'm not mistaken, not a VA, but like a support group for veterans. He's actually, if I'm not mistaken, he went to Colorado and he started up his own, like foundation for veterans and with PTSD and whatnot.
I'm glad that you mentioned that. We are going to have some veterans on the show. I did book one today, a good friend of both of ours, Donovan Torres.
Oh, yeah.
He'll be coming on the future show, I believe, the end of this month, the last Friday of March. I booked him today. We're going to talk a little bit about PTSD and his time in overseas across the pond. And I really have a big, huge heart towards veterans. So I kind of want to incorporate those guys into, and, military branches have sports too.
Yeah.
So we can talk about military sports as well.
It's more hardcore.
Yeah.
More hardcore over there.
Yeah, I know it's pretty interesting. Watching like the whole naval football and
they use Humvees on that football field. Like they pass the ball. All right.
I know.
Their mind off things for a little bit. I think it's got to be
need
tough.
A distraction.
I mean, in jail, there's things that they do and stuff like that. So I mean, it's not the same exactly, but it's nice. It gives them a little break. And like you said, big hearts to them. Anybody that will sign up to protect me and will die for me and before me so that I can live happy with my family. Power to you, man. I'm a patriot. I worked at Grunt Style. So, yeah, I'm all about it. I'm right there with you. So, I actually, without saying some names, I got a couple fighters that, served, and hopefully I can get them on and talk to us about that too. Get into depth as much as we need to. I know he's been through a lot of shit, and then he's actually fought, and he's a bad man pajama. So I almost crossed paths with him, and I don't know, but yeah. So we're definitely here. We're patriots, and so we do what we have to do and support who we have to. Once again, Pioneer Project Management. In case, here's a sponsor. If you guys need info, you could always message us. Let me get that nice and close.
Yeah.
Andrew's the new Vanna White.
I'll take it.
All right.
Oh God, that's crazy. Do we have another comment?
Yeah. No comments.
I know I'm trying to fill the space of missing Angela.
Go ahead.
Oh no.
Yeah,
go
let's
ahead.
go.
What were you gonna say?
Shoot.
No, I was gonna see. I don't know who's still with us, but I'm not a fan of this whole double champ. I'm down to watch the fight with champions fight, but I don't like how like one belt might be on the line and the other one's not. So that if one person loses, he still might be able to. He can go back and be champion. The other one, it's done. But I guess
so
it's what the fans want to see.
An equal loss thing, like an equal risk, so to speak.
That are almost like no belts because you got so many people 1 through 15 ranked trying. This man comes from this weight class and gets it before me. I'm number 5 or number 4, so it's tough.
Are you thinking about like an exhibition almost?
Almost just call it a super fight and let's make a big payday because is that why we're doing it for the most part?
Yeah,
right?
pretty much.
Yeah.
Let's keep it real, guys.
Just like
money's big. Yeah.
Ufaden. Sorry, I know.
Ufeden.
Yes, just like what he said. He's like, I'm in it to get paid. I got a family to take care of. Look, keep it real. Keep it 100. Why are you fighting? Oh,
yeah.
So
and it makes sense. And why do we do anything
invest
that we
your
do?
Time, you get paid. And good old legend Burt Watson talks about it. If you go back and check out one of our other podcasts, like talking about fighters, stand up for yourself.
Like, is it Alistair Overeem?
Overeem just got parted ways with the UFC.
What?
Unfortunately.
JDS and Overeem.
Yeah, Junior Dos Santos. Yeah.
Cut from the UFC.
And
CKB next.
And now I know people want to maybe say something about Junior Dos Santos. Now check his last 3 fights. You got like Curtis Blades, Rosenstruck, Overeem. Like they're not feeding these guys fishes. I mean, they're fighting people in the top 5, top 7. So, Overeem put a nice statement out there. I feel like he could have been like, F you guys, you cut me like that. Like, I'm on my last run. I won my last fight or whatever. But hey, his face is, man, he's got a lot of scars. He's had, I don't know if someone's had more fights going like in the UFC between Pride. That man was fighting on Pride. I mean, he fought people like Chuck Liddell outside of UFC, like before stuff was popping. Young Alistair Overeem, kickboxing.
He fought Brock Lesnar.
Check his resume. Oh, he finished him up.
Now that
once they realized that Brock didn't want to be hit, kind of like Ronda Rousey, it almost was the end of their time. Not that I want to fight Brock Lesnar, but
yeah,
it's not fun getting punched in the face. And when you realize that, it's like, damn, do I really want to do this? Do I? So yeah, unfortunate, but you know what? Go live life, man. I hope it would be nice if they cut him and people like this, Dana White send him a little goodbye check, a little something, or like a little spot in the UFC to like, I don't know, tickets or something. So hopefully they take care of them, man. After all that damage.
Did he retire or did he just?
No, they got cut. They got released from the UFC, so he can go to another promotion. I know Bellator will probably be like, yo.
Yeah.
Well, hey, what's going on? We'll take you. We can get 2 fights.
Why would they do
We'll pay you the money. You've seen people go. I mean, that's what Rumble's there. Yoel Romero's there. Machida went there. Bader went there. They're doing something right over there. I mean, yeah, we got Chandler came over here from over there, but yeah, I don't know. It's unfortunate. They cut him. I know they're older. They're on their last road, but yeah, I don't know.
It looks like they parted ways on good terms. So.
Another interesting thing I saw today, the girl fight for the belt today. She's making history. She is the first girl. So you got Amanda Nunes. She's fighting Megan Anderson. This is Megan Anderson's last fight on her contract. So they don't usually line it up so that like you're fighting for the belt and that's your last fight. So kind of interesting. We'll see. We'll see. She's got a couple inches on her on Nunes, and we've seen Nunes had trouble with that Ramadan or Jermaine because she was so long and lanky. If that girl had any ground game, she would have took the belt from her. But yeah, Frank Mir. Frank Mir coming back fighting a decent boxer.
That's gonna be interesting.
But Frank Mir's always had hands. I don't care what people say. His submission's always overlooked, but he's always had some hands. So I'm excited. I like that. That might be good. I know his daughter's out there. His daughter won her first pro or amateur MMA fight. So shout out to Frank Mir and that whole crew. He's a bad man with Jamma, and he's got a resume too, man.
What's going on with bodybuilding, Justin? Anything new and exciting?
I was going shit. I got into like the damn fight thing. I'm looking up the
come on, I'm bringing them into my world now. Come on now.
Justin, it's exciting.
I wonder if any bodybuilders have tried to transition into
fighting. No, that would. I feel like
I don't know if that would work so much.
Now that muscle, you get tired because you see a lot of those people.
Think about it though, like these are like a lot of them are fucking huge.
Yeah, they probably didn't even make the cut. The weight cut, dude.
The stamina is not there. You're like for instance a good matchup. They're not exactly bodybuilders, but strongmen. Eddie Hall and Thor, big fucking dudes, like 300 plus pound people, easy, and they're trying to do like what is it, an exhibition match or something like that.
They can't even touch the back of their shoulders. So yeah, you can't.
And I mean, don't get me wrong. Eddie is a scrappy, well, not little dude, but he's little compared to Thor. Mm-hmm. But he is a scrappy fucking dude.
And that don't mean he can't knock somebody out.
I could see him going pretty strong for like maybe 4 to 5 rounds.
Someone could
like
weather that storm.
Yeah. But Thor, he's like, I'm not gonna say that he's like bad, but like you could tell, like you could read his movements. Like it's so slow. Like trying to see him punch, I'm like, and then you like compare it to like watching regular UFC people. It's like it's not the same.
Well, coming from somebody doing the bodybuilding, then Like, why is it? Can you tell us, like, why is it that you'll see these tank dudes? What is it in their muscle? Like the blood pumps, they get tired. Like, what is it?
It's not. Well, for one thing, I think it's more
a lot of weight, man.
It's a lot of weight
muscle.
to move around, and it's a lot of the
down
conditioning needs to be there too. So if they're going to be good at it, they would have to drop weight. They can't, like, you can't just be this jacked fucking dude and go crazy in the ring. I mean, not for a long time.
Right. I was gonna say until you meet your match. Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I mean, obviously you've had, like, fighters that are like 250 or something like that, right? I mean, it's possible you could do it, but they're really, really conditioned to it, right? Like it's the same thing with like bodybuilding. They're really conditioned to pumping iron. They're efficient at it. They like getting a boxer and getting him in the gym to pump iron wouldn't be quite the same. If he's working out with a professional bodybuilder who does this for a living, like it's like it's almost like an apples to oranges type deal. It's just the way you train your body.
You watched that Michael Jordan film that just came out? The whole
what was it?
Why can I not think? But it's
gonna come.
They got the season. If you guys haven't watched it, Jordan came out with that little 9 episodes. Amazing. But he talks about that little break where he goes to baseball.
Oh wait,
he was in shape.
Was this it was like a documentary series or something like that on Netflix?
The name is like right here.
I can't remember what it was called, but I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
But so he was like he went to basketball.
Yeah.
Or went to baseball.
Yeah.
And he was in shape for baseball, but then when he came back, he just said it was a whole different ball
different.
game.
Yeah.
Just Nate Robinson coming into the boxing world. He's like, I trained. Sometimes it's different. Were you in shape for basketball?
Yeah.
Then you probably were.
And
it's a little bit different. You're throwing a lot of power.
It's to me it's like a water and oil type mix, And then
I know.
Like going from like what do you call it? Like track and field, for instance, to like swimming. Two very, very, very different things. Like I noticed just from me trying to go from swimming to track and field that I got really, really, really slow. Like it did not help me at all. It did negative effects. Like I
like this.
It helped translate more over to cross country than track and field.
Okay,
and I think it's mostly it's got to be because like the muscle fiber types. Like I feel like you use more type 1 muscle fiber types, which are more of the aerobic what do you call it? Muscle fiber types. And with track and field, that's that quick reaction. You're not running for what more than burst. 10 seconds or something like that. So that's more the type 2 muscle fibers where they're firing real quick and they're those like fast acting fibers.
So you might get lucky and have the right sports to kind of lead in, but you can't.
It really depends because it's kind of like you're training one fiber type over the other, and so you're becoming more dominant this way than that way. It's like, if you want to be explosive, you want to train explosively. If you want to, I mean, I'm not going to say if you want to be slow, you want to train slowly, but if you want to train for endurance, you want to, slowly work up to it. You're going to slowly go longer and longer. Yeah. So it really depends. You can't go from like doing strongman to being a professional boxer like overnight. That's something that's going to take a whole lot of change. Like, and I believe like anything's possible. I believe to an extent, you just like, if you're really, really, really great at like being a power lifter, there's no way in hell you're going to go from being the best power lifter in the world to being the fastest runner in the world. You can't, no, you're like, it's impossible, Oh, we got 5 minutes. Okay, all right. But we got 5 minutes.
I just want to make sure he knows.
But yeah, it's just everybody trains for a specific reason, for specific goals. And your body only works good. It only works well at one path, whether it be running long distance or running a short distance or boxing or MMA. It's how you train your body, and your body like basically memorizes this, and it becomes better at it, you know.
Right. Most times, like your 100-meter dash is not going to run your 2 mile and be the
Yeah, no.
You know, they're training for different things. I need to be fast for 10 seconds.
Yeah.
I need to just consistently stay a certain speed for 750 million laps because I'm doing, you know, like I don't play with that long stuff. But yeah, so I guess, you know, depending on what worlds, man, sports, different worlds. So, you know,
it's weird.
Easy.
Like, I mean, some things go hand in hand and some things don't. I do feel like just my personal experience going from track and field to cross country, I know it's kind of like two different things. One is more explosive than the other, but I feel like having that prerequisite of track and field, you know, running the 100, the 400, 200, whatever, that helped translate to the last like leg of the race for, you know, cross country, you know, like that last like, you know, what was it, the last like 400-meter dash or whatever. I was really good at that. I was really good because it, you know, that's all I did in track and field. I sucked. I'm not gonna lie. I sucked doing cross country, like the whole fucking race, all the way up to the last like 400 meters, and that's when I, you know, could like go all out. That was like
till
perfect.
The last lap.
Yeah.
Last lap, all right.
It was horrible. Like some people could like consistently like maintain that speed, and I'm like, I can't do it. Like the last like 400 meters, I'll get you, but
gotta be honest with yourself.
2 minutes, guys.
Oh yeah,
so the show ends.
We want to talk about our sponsor again?
No, not right now.
Why not?
No, not right now.
Enough sponsor time.
Can we give them a little? We're gonna have a very interesting show coming up.
Oh, that's right. Next Friday.
Wait a minute.
Without saying too much for you guys, we'll let her do it, but very, very.
Yeah, you guys definitely want to tune in for next Friday. We're gonna have the cut man's round table. Cut men and cut women, because there are women who are cut people too. So, and they'll talk about that. Yeah, exactly. Some officiators and some amazing people will be on. I've got people coming on from all over the world. Thanks to Tamara. I love you, girl. So we're going to talk about fighter safety and different things that come up in the industry, professionalism, things that the public doesn't know, what the cutman does. Majority does, but there's some really cool stuff. And then, you know, we've got a really special guest, someone we all love and adore, coming on in 2 weeks. I'm not going to spoil it yet. So not going to spoil that one. But I just want to tell you guys, thank you so much for the support of Spit and Fire with Racheal Blaze. And, you know, this is so much fun to sit here with my son and my neighbor. I think we should name the show like Racheal and Friends.
Yeah, right.
But you know, I just
appreciate it.
Yeah, appreciate it a lot. I know the show just started. We're getting in the, you know, we're learning how to do this thing. So stay with us, okay?
Roll with the punches.
Slowly but surely.
It's gonna be a rocky start. It always is. And you know, you'll get some guests that'll show, and some guests that have emergencies, and some guests that'll be driving and fun stuff. We try to explain not to do that, but and
topics or people or something,
yeah,
you can always say something and we can reach out
in the comments.
Exactly. Yes, I mean, we are. Come on, we need suggestions. If there's a guest you want to hear, or if there's a topic you want to talk about, we are open. Send us a message on the Spit and Fire page, and we'll respond to it as quickly as possible as well. So I'll put Andrew on there and Dustin as moderators. But yeah, you guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Next Friday we'll be here, and it's gonna be a really big show. I mean, I've got a lot of really good guests. I think there's about 6 or 7 or 8 of them that are going to be on, and we're going to talk about the industry in as a whole. What can we do to improve it? What are some things that we need to do to change, or if we need to change, or but some pretty important topics. I think it'll be awesome.
And then Thanks A2D for staying with us and doing all this for us too.
Yeah,
Really
A2D Radio for the platform, and Thomas, who just had his brand new baby. Yay!
When's the reveal party? Let them all know. No,
reveal party. Wait a minute, the baby is here already. and Thomas is a first time daddy, so he's learning to balance the. I mean, he's got a lot on his plate. I told Steve today. I said, I think he's mad at me because he's not really talking. Steve's like, he's a dad, and I'm like, well, yeah. Oh, is he a first time parent? Yeah. Oh, yeah, I get it. So you guys tune in with us next Friday on Spit and Fire with Racheal Blaze, with Andrew, myself, and Destin Tarzan. Wait, there's something at the end. Am I missing something?
No.
Cassin, the Prince of A2D.